Alright, what is up guys? It is currently negative 24 here outside sa Edmonton, Alberta on this dark and chilly Saturday evening. It is currently 6:45 p.m. I believe. Once again guys, my name is Jerry Domingo, Specialty Finance Manager, owner ng Pinoy Car Talk sa Facebook and sa Instagram. So, I know for the past two videos natin, we're comparing vehicles. No? I was looking at both mid-trims. So for example, I did the RAV4 na versus the Honda na comparison sa mid-trims, right? We were looking at the EX versus the XLE sa RAV4, and then we looked at the Civic versus the Corolla. So the Civic EX versus the Corolla SE. So today we're actually looking at something different naman. So we're looking at these two CRVs. Now the main difference between these two is yung comparison video natin for tonight is for the top trim levels. So I rarely do top trim levels because, you know, as you guys know, majority of my clients are mga pangmasa, and most often than not, these vehicles are often out of the approval and sa budget ng mga kliyente ko. But I do have a certain client right now who was curious about the top trim levels, and na-review ko na yung kanilang file, and I'm confident na I can get them approved for the Touring or the Black Edition. No? So they were considering the EXL versus the Touring. So I sent them a video ng EXL, but this one I want to do for all of you guys out there. So this one here, we're going to be comparing the Honda CR-V in the Touring trim level versus the top of the line Black Edition. So sa mga Honda vehicles kasi, specifically for the Pilot and for the CR-V, our models start at the LX, and then there is the EX for the Civic, right? And then Sport, and then Touring. And then for the CRVs, you start off at the LX, you got the Sport, you got the EX, EXL, Touring, and then I believe it was only in 2019 nung dinagdag namin yung Black Edition. So I'm gonna do a quick video between the differences ng kanilang dalawa, and you know, see maybe for you guys, maybe if you're deciding for your next vehicle, you're considering the CRV, right? Is it worth it to go from the Touring level to the Black Edition, which is technically our top trim highest level? Okay, so main thing we're gonna establish here guys is the price ng dalawang unit. The Honda Touring is around $45,000, right? Wala pa yung tax dun ha, wala pa yung tax, wala pa yung fees. Okay, on the Black Edition naman, it is $45,800. Okay, so there's a $800 difference sa kanilang dalawa, and again, these two vehicles are the top trim levels when it comes to Honda vehicles. So, ano ba yung kaibahan nilang dalawa? And ano yung mga main standout features nila? So, first and foremost, just like Toyota, for our vehicles here, yung engines nila are still the same across the board. So, going from the LX all the way to the Black Edition, you're still running the 1.5 liter 4-cylinder 190 horsepower na engine. Okay? Now, as you go up on the trim levels, dun na nagkakaiba yung mga features na meron ang bawat sasakyan. So as I said, we're looking at the top trim level. So first and foremost, let's start looking at the Touring. So ito yung Touring trim level guys. So as a signature sa Touring, you have the LED na headlights. Okay, auto on and off yan, and you also have the LED daytime running lights, and you have the LED fog lights. So hindi lang siya naka-on ngayon, but they look like this pag naka-on siya. Okay, so as you can see there. Okay. Now, kaibahan din when it comes to Touring kumpara sa EXL tsaka sa Sport na model ng CR-V is this one has yung panoramic sunroof. So mas malaki yung sunroof niya. Okay, so usually you find that kind of feature in the higher trim levels talaga ng sasakyan. So on the Touring, you do get the panoramic sunroof, you get the rain sensing windshield wipers, and of course yung 19-inch wheels na ganyan ang design. So on the lower trim levels, you do get a smaller wheel, right? 17-inch I believe. So on the Touring, you get a 19. Sa EXL, I believe it is 18. So yan ang design niya. So the one thing that disappears, no, na wala ang Touring trim level na feature is yung Honda Lane Watch. So wala na yung camera dito. The Honda Lane Watch has been replaced with the, I'm not sure if you guys can see it, no? Let me take off yung flash. Oops, sorry guys. It has been replaced with the blind spot monitor, which is over here. Okay, so wala na yung Honda Lane Watch, blind spot monitor na yung meron. Okay, so let's look at the inside of the vehicle naman. Since it is the top trim level, ng Honda vehicles, no, you do get the power passenger seat. So this one here, wala sa mga lower trim levels. So you do have that. A full leather interior. You can see there. Now, if you notice the trim, no, on the touring trim level, you have the nice wood grain trim. So a lot of people find this fancy. I have the same thing kasi yung company car ko is also a CRV touring. So it has that one. So yan pa siya. Right? It looks nice and fancy for a lot of people. I personally like it, no. And if you look sa main passenger, sa rear passenger naman, again, you get the wood grain trim, and you also have heated seats. So heated seats, so sa rear passenger. So with the way the heated seat works is itong dalawa lang to, ito, tsaka yung sa kabila, yung corresponding side, yun lang ang heated. Yung sa gitna, unfortunately, kung sinong uupo sa gitna, wala kang heated seats. So yan dalawa lang ang may heated seats. Also on the touring trim level, you do get 2 charging ports here. USB charging ports, since we do live in a modern world, right? Kailangan na mag-charge ng devices. Let's close that. And the one thing I like about this vehicle too, no, I personally used it all the time since I have my kids with me. For example, mag-grocery ako, is yung power lift gate niya. So, you do have 2 options. You have the power lift gate button here. Nataas siya. Yun yung kanyang backup camera. So that's the space sa likuran. Okay. And gaya nga nabanggit ko, when it comes to brand new Hondas, unfortunately, hindi kasama yung rubber mats. But you do get the carpet mats. And you do get yung tonneau cover niya. Okay. So this is programmable here, so you can program yung height kung gusto mo. So that's one way to open yung likod niya. And for people like me, for example, nag-grocery ako, right? And I'm the kind of guy who doesn't like to make multiple trips. Gusto ko isang hatak lang, isang, you know, lahat ng supot, and that's it. So what you do, you can also use your foot. Kick there sa ilalim. Uy, baka na-block ng ice. Yon, see? It's also kick activated, no? So yung ano, yung rear power lift gate na pwede mong mati-trigger just by kicking here. Yan, gaganyan mo lang sa ilalim. See? Yan is only available sa touring. So sa EXL, we have a power lift gate pero wala siyang yung kick activated. Punta naman tayo sa driver side. On the driver's side, you get the power driver seat, you get the lumbar support, which is itong button na to. Para sa lower back mo yan, kung nagda-drive ka. You get the programmable driver seat. You can set yung settings, no, yung distance and yung height ng upuan for 2 different drivers. Again, with the wood grain trim. So let's get inside. I'm gonna move this for a bit para magkasya sa loob. So looking on the inside, guys, so you can see, no, very similar sila sa mga ibang trim level. So, clear that up. Hinaan natin yung fan. So the one thing na meron yung touring is it has yung navigation. The navigation system is built in right there, right? Just one of those perks of buying yung pinaka top trim level. So otherwise, same thing. You got the push button start. You got the heated steering wheel, which is over here yung control. You get your safety systems, right? Yung dynamic na cruise control. Okay. You got your lane departure warning still. So you guys can see, oh, negative 24 sa labas. Right there, guys. Oh, sorry, guys. Not sure it's being blurry. Come on, refocus. Ayaw mag-refocus ang camera ko. Yun. Lane departure warning, rain sensing na windshield wipers, power lift gate, rear cross traffic alert. So andyan na siya. So parang ang sabi ko, wala na yung Honda Lane Watch. Blind spot monitor na pumalit sa kanya. The other thing na meron to is, of course, you got the heated seats. You got your idle stop, right? You got the icon button dito. And it has yung key wireless charging, which is over here. Now, to use tong key wireless charging, I admit it's a nice feature to have. Pero I found na on certain phones, kailangan mong tanggalin yung case ng phone mo para ma-full advantage mo siya. Is it a deal breaker sa opinion ko? It's more of like a nice thing to have. Kasi alam mo, top of the line yung kotse kung mayroon siyang wireless charger na ganyan. I personally have used yung key wireless charging sa phone ko. Hindi ganun kabilis yung charging, but it's more of the utility to have. Like, at least andyan siya. And you still get your USB ports naman talaga dito. And meron pa siyang dalawang USB ports. I'm not sure if you guys can see it. So there are 2 USB ports over there for charging as well. Panoramic sunroof is over here. Let's open that up. So again, kaya nga sabi ko, for those of us who live in Western Canada, you can barely use this, even though it's nice. Yan, para kang merong yung ceiling mo para talaga siyang salamin. But it's full of ice. So it's very impractical for people living in really cold climates pag maraming snow, di ba? But it is a nice feature to have. And I must admit, it does look social. See? Yun yung controls ng ating sunroof. Gusto na natin siya. Use your rear view mirror right there. And pakita ko na rin yung view ng kanyang backup camera, okay? Kasi dito na rin tayo. So yun yung kanyang backup camera right there. Now, the one thing that it doesn't have, no, I must admit, na would be nice sana, would be yung 360-degree camera, which I know other vehicles have, right? Kasi nakabenta na ako ng mga vehicles na yun. So, it is one of those features na wala sa top-of-the-line trim level namin sa Honda. So, yan siya. So, that is the thing. That's our main top trim level, na touring nga. So yun yung tsura niya. Okay. So this one here, nasa mga 45,000 ang presyo. Wala pa, again, I'm gonna indicate, wala pa yung tax, wala pa yung fees doon. That's just for the vehicle itself. Okay. Now, moving on to the Black Edition. So the Black Edition is right next to it. And if you're gonna notice, parehong-pareho lang sila, di ba? And that's because the Black Edition is a complete copy nung Touring. Now, what makes the Black Edition more special, right? What makes it $800 more is yung mga extra na palamuti na meron siya. Features-wise, it's exactly the same as the Touring, which I'm gonna show you guys pagpasok na sa loob. It's just those embellishments, no? Yung mga designs na extra na meron siya. So, for example, on the Black Edition, you do get the exclusive glossy black na rims, right? Which looks like this. If you notice, ayan yung sa Touring, ito yung sa Black Edition. Ako personally, I like yung kulay ng pagkaitim niya. It adds a very special touch of class sa opinion ko. I just like black in general as a color, di ba? But if you look, yung kaha ng katawan, exactly the same sa Touring. LED headlights, LED fog lights, okay? Panoramic yung sunroof. Now, ito pa yung isang kaibahan nung Black Edition dun sa regular na Touring. Hinahanap ko lang po yung susi para mabuksan ko siya para makita ninyo. Oop, ito lang. Let's go sa kabila. I'm gonna try opening the dock. Oh, since nasa likod na rin tayo, the Black Edition does have an exclusive badging which is here. Nakalagay Black Edition. So it's para bang just letting the world know na, hey, I'm driving not just the top of the line model, I'm driving the Black Edition. I just want to mention that. Buksan ko lang yung sa kabila, ha? Well, kita na rin dito eh. So, if you notice on the interior, no, yung wood grain trim has been replaced with a pure black interior. So black handles, black yung wood grain trim niya dito. Yung leather set, yung mga pieces ba na normally would be chrome or any other kind of plastic is pure black. yung brown stitching, right? When it comes dito, I believe that's gray. And it does say on your seats, black edition. So you can tell na talagang special yung sasakyan. So ito yung sa black edition, guys, as you notice. Ang tawag dito piano black. Piano black. So kita nyo kung gaano siya kaswabe tignan yung pagka-black niya. 'Di ba? Black edition. Oh. Let's go sa touring. I'm gonna open yung touring so you guys can see and then you guys can decide what you guys think, no? Anong mas classic pa nilang dalawa. So ito yung sa regular touring. Wood grain trim, right? This looks nice din naman. Right? I like both of them, right? Wood grain trim. Sa loob, right? You don't have that nice black edition badging sa upuan mo. And then yung sa touring ay sa black edition, yan naman siya. So purely black, piano black, black all the way around. Oh, diba? But features wise, still the same thing, guys. Power seats for the front passenger. Still heated seats for the rear passengers. Diba? Still the panoramic sunroof. Now, take a look at the other side naman. Ito naman yung sa ating regular edition. Okay? Very similar. But, one thing you're gonna notice too, take a look sa bubong. This one here, guys, gray yung bubong niya, diba? Gray yung bubong. Ito yung nagustuhan ko sa black edition besides the rims. Here, even the roof is black. So it really gives yung vibe na iba. Yung talagang fully black yung interior niya, diba? Ewan ko, sa opinion ko maganda siyang tignan. Sa likuran, and as I mentioned, right, black edition badging, same thing. Parang sabi ko nga, features wise, everything na nasa touring meron sa black edition. It's mainly the style aesthetics that's different. Diba? Yung loob. Same thing, piano black trim. Same thing din dito. So, now you guys have seen it. Now, the one thing I am gonna mention though, when it comes to the black edition, there are only two color options available. You can have the Blizzard Pearl White or black. That's it. On the black edition is black or white. Yun lang. On the touring trim level, this comes in red, silver, black, red, silver, white, gray, yung other shade ng gray, I forgot the marketing name for it. Okay? I believe it also comes in blue. So if you prefer having a wider selection ng colors, go with the touring. If you like yung finesse design-wise, yung aesthetics ng all black na interior, then go with the black edition. Now, for comparison's sake, I'm gonna show you guys yung black version nito. Kasi doon, I think, yun ang mas maganda. So, we have one here sa labas. I just don't have the keys kasi nabenta na siya. Same thing ng black edition na isa, na white, nabenta na siya. But this is the black one, and I think it looks really beautiful. There you go. So black edition,